I got to lean in.
What is going on, everybody? It is me again, and it is time to lean in, bitch, for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm here with Asia and Dream. And as I mentioned, we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, this super duper episode. That's why we're a few minutes late, child. I thought it was a regular 40-minute episode, baby.
Can't blame me.
You know, Asia was on time for one time, y'all.
I'm always on time.
Clap it up.
You being shady. I got my umbrella.
You should definitely put it up there. But no, welcome to another live recap for the Housewives of Atlanta. If this is your first time watching, welcome. If this is not, welcome back. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the video. Jazz and Antonio cannot be here today, but they'll be back next week. Before we get into this episode, I want to make a quick comment. Y'all don't want to gloat, and this 2-hour horn over here at the Lean. But if you saw the reunion looks that leaked, you saw it because of us. Okay, so I don't know if whether you're here for that or not. The Lean broke the news. The Lean
exclusive.
We had the exclusive, and we were the ones to post it. So with that being said, we thank everybody for that. Everyone that did give us credit, and if you didn't, shame on you. It's okay. We don't need credit, but just so you guys know,
we need the credit.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah, we do.
We need the credit because I'm gonna say it like this: whenever you see that picture, you got that picture from the Lean. Period.
That's true. That's true.
No other people.
No, that is very true. I mean, there's no denying it. If I could show whatever I could, but not gonna do that. Just know that it came from us, and anybody else that posted it got it from us.
And shout out to the people that did give credit.
Shout out. I will say most people did. Shout out to many. I know House of Aaron. I saw Neighborhood Talk, Queens of Bravo, all these other pages. It's great to see that. Just because we're all out here doing the same thing. So shout out to those that support us. And let's get into the recap. So it's a lot from this episode, chat. I didn't know it was a super episode, like I said, but as I was watching, I found out. So last week I was not here. Jazz and Dream and Antonio were here, but the previous episode was basically Kenya getting hurt. She fell and bust a booty. And at the end of the episode, while the ladies were having their little pillow talk or whatever they were calling it, there was an issue between Drew and Kandi because it came up that Drew kissed Latoya forever. Now this is from the Bolo scene. That was season 13. Am I correct? Yeah, 2 years ago.
If this is season 15 after that was 13.
Okay. Yeah, it was. So it's crazy we're talking about this now because it wasn't a big issue then, but now it seemed to be a big issue now. So in this week's episode, we pick up Kandi's leaving. She has to go. She is very busy this season. She has checked out, but this season she has the stuff going on with the with Escape. So she has tour and stuff like that. So she had to go. To be honest, when seeing the rest of the episode, do you really need her there? In my opinion, I'm gonna say no. But you guys can have y'all opinion. But me, I'm saying I didn't even realize she went there. That may be a sign, y'all. A big sign. And so we pick up with this scene with Kenya and Mayetta, and Kenya is just explaining how she was so hurt. And she how she didn't think she could walk today. She said she rose on the first Sunday. That's what she said to Mayetta. I don't know if y'all caught Mayetta's little eye roll. I saw a clip of it, but she was like, girl, bye. But for the sake of the cameras, she has to play the role because she is she's considered one of Kenya's friends, along with Kandi. And so they talk about everything that happened. Mo is really spilling all the tea. Kenya talks about Kandi calling her upset, that Drew called her a liar and that she was not a liar. Apparently they call Shamia, they call everybody that witnessed the kiss at the Bolo thing, saying that Drew indeed did kiss somebody, right? Oh, sorry, kiss Latoya. And so, they're mocking Kandi, talking about, I ain't lie, because that is how she stood up. She was like, I ain't lie. You call me a lie. Don't call Kandi no liar. I will say she gets very upset. Don't call her no liar. Don't talk about her mom. Don't talk about her man. She would get upset, right? And so we find out that Marlo got footage of Drew saying she did not kiss Toya, sent it to Toya, and this is what they're going to be talking about the entire episode. Now, Latoya called Kandi denying the kiss as well, And so the people feel like maybe she had paid Latoya. Or it's very interesting because they, even though they were not like enemies, but they had an issue. We saw them kind of like hug it out, but we didn't see them become like this bestie alliance that they could have been, because it probably would have kept Latoya around longer if they had been friends during that season. And so basically, Kenya's talking about this, and she talks about her doubts with Latoya being kind of a liar, and I would find it kind of interesting because, she was actually Latoya's friend in that season, if you watch that season, so it was very interesting. But at the end of the scene, Monyetta informs Kenya also that they had a conversation with Courtney about Drew, and how they were kind of warning Courtney about Drew and how she lied. So I'll stop there and get you guys thought, because there was a lot. But basically, Monyetta is a bone collector. Monyetta is trying to work on a business for her to stay, but she's working and she is reporting everything she hears and says. I'll start with you, Asia.
I don't think Kandi's lying. I don't think Kenya's lying. And I think it's weird that, just to sum it up, I think it's weird that Latoya is backtracking because she's the one that mentioned it in the first place at the reunion. Mm-hmm. As far as it coming up these 2 years later, I don't understand. I don't understand why it came up, but the cameras weren't up for us to even know why it was really brought up. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that if they didn't talk, I don't know. I'm not upset that it may air and it came up, but it is weird that it came up 2 years later. But when it's late night, you keep keying and the cameras are down. I think they was probably just saying, oh, maybe the last time we all had fun together, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And I'm glad Kandi left.
You glad Kandi left?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was my time to be there.
Yeah. She don't want to be there anyway. So it's like, why? Yeah.
I don't think Kandi's lying because it wasn't just Kandi who said that she witnessed the kiss. It was Kandi, Kenya. Apparently, they called Cynthia, Shamia, and all these other people who confirmed it, as well as Marlo. So there's too many people to say they saw it for me to not believe it, especially Drew, because Drew be acting. But as far as Monyetta bringing it up to Kenya, they had like a little conversation, and Kenya's like, well, obviously, if Drew's mad at anyone, it should be Marlo. And it's like, didn't Kenya call Shamia and didn't she call Cynthia to confirm with them? It's literally the same thing. Yeah. But those are my 2 cents about that.
I don't, this is crazy because I'm not a Drew fan, but this heifer is lying.
She is lying, and for no reason at all.
I don't want to just blindly believe them, but that's like 4 people against 1, and it's just like, it's just weird. Like, it just this is at the beginning of the episode. See, it made me be like, at the very beginning, like, okay. So as we talk about stuff, I'm like over it because it's like, it's clear that she's lying, and I hate that for Latoya because I didn't like Latoya when she was on air. Did y'all like Latoya when she was on the season 13? Yeah. I didn't like her. We reviewed that season, and she was like, but I liked her towards the end.
I liked her at the end because she just gave whatever energy.
So I don't know why. It's just weird. Why would she lie for Drew? Like, I don't like that. That's just weird for her.
That's what she was not flip-flopping, but she was likable and unlikable. She was like switching teams during that season. If you don't,
but wasn't Latoya a liar too during that season?
She was.
She was flipping.
That's why I don't understand with Kenya, her comment. Kenya, you were rolling with that girl. Like, it was clear Latoya was lying, but I don't know. It's just a lot of damn lying. The real lies, the real lies of Atlanta. Let's retitle this damn show because it's getting up my goddamn nerves. All right, I'm gonna change it up top. Yeah, I'm gonna change it next week. Okay, so we get a quick scene of Marlo, her titties out, child, but she thinks that Drew paid Toya. So the next day, later that day, Drew and Sheree get together. I don't know why Drew sat with Sheree. I don't know why. Drew is not only is she a liar, but she is dumb. She is dumb as rocks because you just argued with this lady. Episode cried and walked out, right? Drew needs a friend. I'm gonna say this: if she comes back next, she needs a real friend, like a childhood friend, a bestie, a sister. She needs somebody that's like in her corner because she does not have anybody in this cast. Nobody, not one, not Kenya, not Kandi, nobody. Okay, they all looking for a moment to clown her, which she deserves sometimes. And right, so basically, we find out, like I said, that Toya called Drew in the moment or whatever and talked about the videos that were sent. And you know, Drew is mad at Marlo. Drew feels like Marlo is not a friend. I'm like, Drew, none of these girls are your friends, to be honest. You're sitting with Sheree, who is really good friends with Marlo. So I don't understand why you're doing this, but whatever. But she feels betrayed. She also questions Kandi and Kenya and says, you know, Kenya does a lot of talking, a lot of opinions about things that she knows nothing about. And so this is where I'm starting to see that this reunion is going to be very hard for Drew. I feel like they're going to be tossing her little. She looked great in her look, by the way. We can talk about the looks later. But she looked great. But they're going to be tossing her little nice little dress all across that stage because I just fear that for her, to be honest, if she don't break down and whatnot. But Sheree is eating all this up. Sheree, it really was given when Sheree was talking to Portia about who was that? About them. Remember back then when she was getting that tea and she was just eating all up? That's what this scene reminded me of with Drew. Mm-hmm. And so, any thoughts on this? How Drew feels and how Drew is now mad at Marlo? I mean, could she really be upset? Is it because she's more so mad at the video being filmed? And Sheree made a comment and said, "We're on a reality TV show. What's wrong with being filmed?" Dream.
I didn't think I was going to agree with Sheree, but you are on a reality show, so you need to expect to be filmed, especially when there's multiple people from the Housewives cast together. There's going to be some sort of filming, whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not. But that's Marlo's job. I mean, Marlo's supposed to make a show. She's supposed to be messy, so I didn't find a big deal for her to send it to Latoya. That was just my opinion. I mean, Drew's denying one thing. She sent it to Latoya. I'm assuming she thought Latoya was going to say, admit that she kissed her, but Latoya kind of went the other way. But I don't see why Drew's upset. I really don't.
Asia?
I didn't like her sending the video. I don't mind her taking the video, especially how she was literally holding her camera like that. So everybody had their camera out. Somebody posted their camera up. So I don't like the double standard of being mad that it was filmed because one, production told y'all to film some stuff. So most of y'all did.
Yeah.
And two, calm down because you're being filmed all the time. And that's why it's kind of upsetting. Like, Drew, you be acting. Because why are you mad that you was being filmed? That's how we know you acting, because you turned it off. In terms of Marlo sending it to Latoya, I don't know if I like that because we are in the moment over here. And that in itself was her trying to be messy, for sure. Like, if it's going to come out on the show or whatever, let it happen in that way, or let's talk about it later. But in that moment, yeah, she was trying to be messy. I'm not mad at it because I think everybody does messy, mean girl things at this point. So nothing's off limits. Like, why would that be off limits? Me being messy and sending the video.
Do you all think that maybe so you think that production told them to film?
They said on the after show that production told them to film.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I didn't get a chance to watch it this week. My bad, y'all. Okay.
And apparently it was both Monyetta and Marlo to record the.
Well, that comes out. That comes out. We're gonna talk about that too, because Mo thinks she in the clear, and I think she just. I mean, we'll get to that part.
The only thing she didn't do was send it to an outside party. That's it. That's the only thing Monyetta didn't do. But Monyetta is.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like if Kandi wasn't there, Monyetta would have sent it to Kandi. And it would have been the same thing.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Monyetta would have done the same.
Do y'all think that Monyetta would have sent it to Kandi if she wasn't there?
Absolutely.
If you're watching the viewers, what do y'all think? Because Monyetta be acting like she is so neutral, but she ain't neutral. And it's just like, this group is divided. It is divided 4 versus 4. It is a fatal 4-way, 4 versus 4, a divas match. That's what it's given. Because it's literally these girls over here. And now what Courtney was like, she was always on this side, but she was playing with Drew. Now it's clear that it's a 4v4. And
I got
it's just
something to say about that too, but
we're gonna get to that too. Okay, so they're getting out. They're on a bus ride. Before the bus ride, Kenya is walking. Kenya, first of all, she is playing this role so great. She is getting help people to walk her. She walking careful. I love it. I said, girl, you better play it up because I mean, maybe she probably did hurt herself. I mean, she fell pretty hard, and she's not the youngest woman. But I didn't think it required her to be like, walking like she was on crutches. But hey, that's just neither here nor there. They're going to a sound bath. I hate these things. I hate these things.
Why?
I hate these things on reality TV. We have seen.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if Bravo told all the women to get together and have a damn sound bath. We've seen like 5 in the last year, starting with Salt Lake City, maybe others, but I'm sick of them. But they're going to the sound bath, and on the way to the sound bath, Courtney throws her shade, her first bit of shade at Kenya, and talking about her karma and that she fell and bust her booty, and things like that. She's throwing her little shade. We out here for any of Courtney's shade in her confessional?
Yes,
I was.
Okay. So Mayetta was a former rapper. She can't really rap. She had like a bar, but then it kind of fell flat. But it wasn't
a bar.
It wasn't a bar. Asia is the bar queen. She will tell you if it's a
bar.
That
is not a bar.
Okay. But then Kenya asked Drew about Courtney and the energy. This is in their individual like little buses getting to the sound bath. And she asked Drew, like, how does she feel about Courtney and their energy? And Drew just feels like, it's a little different. And so they get to the sound bath. They show like everybody is having their moment while they're doing the sound bath and kind of like what they're reflecting over. And then afterwards they talk about it. But Kenya kind of cries because apparently she's having thoughts about having another child. She's kind of hinted at that already early in the season. So maybe it's going to be her next year's thing. I don't know. I think we talked about this personally. I don't think she should, but who am I? I'm just a regular man on YouTube.
A human that knows that bringing another child into the world with somebody who don't like you is not smart.
Okay, yeah, I don't think he should be doing that. But hey, neither here or there. Any thoughts on this little part? Because nothing really happened during the sound bath. Just really at lunch. Can I move on? Okay. Yeah. So after the sound bath at lunch, Mayetta talks about last night, and Sheree was like, it was fun until it wasn't. So she explains why it wasn't fun. And Marlo, she admits that she recorded Drew, basically to show that, that she was being messy, right? But she says that Mayetta filmed too. And Mayetta's like, hold on, wait a minute. I did not send it. And then she says once she found out that the cameras were off, she stopped filming. In other words, she said she didn't have any messy intent with it. That's what she was trying to say. Do y'all think that was any truth in that statement?
False.
Okay. So when this happened, Drew gets upset, and she's just like, worry about the cases that you don't have expunged, worry about the dead hair follicles. And Marlo's just like, she's tired of hearing about cases. I'm tired of hearing about cases.
Me too.
But Drew got really like, she bossed up, and I'm like, okay, girl, like, why you didn't boss up on Sheree, episode ago when she was coming? I don't know, whatever. But they have a little back and forth, and she talks about her taxes and stuff like that. And Marlo was like, say it to your husband. We're both in technology. And I'll stop right there because there's a part 2 to this. Give me your thoughts on this whole thing as far as Mayetta. It been revealed that Mayetta filmed this well. How she tried to clear her name. And then the back and forth between Drew and Marlo. I didn't really care for this scene, to be honest. I thought it was a little forced. I think Drew was trying to make kind of something happened, but it kind of fell flat. Now, I will say those dead hair follicles, as someone on the Twitter said, I don't know where they are, and they'll come back. But as far as the scene itself, Marlo kind of like paid her dust in a way. I don't know.
She really did.
Asia?
I thought Drew's little digs were funny, but she says another like financial joke or law, like whatever, get your case dismissed. Joke again later on, and it wasn't funny no more. Like stuff like that is only funny in a moment when you gag them the first time, but when you keep telling the same jokes over and over again like that, it kind of falls flat and is dead. Mm-hmm. I thought the Edge's joke was funny too. I feel like the only point of them airing that scene was so Drew could get some licks in, but as we saw, it didn't. Marlo wasn't moved, and when That's how you know Marlo don't. You know she got money and she don't really care about that kind of stuff because she wasn't rah back, and that's where I think Drew needs to get some thicker skin. And the stuff that Drew's been going off on is like weird. It's coming from out of nowhere. Like you getting rah out of nowhere. Like it's other shit you should be really getting. Like you said, it's other shit you should be getting mad at. But this is when you decide to go off. Yeah. About some edges 15 seasons later. We've been talking about edges.
I just need some new material. I don't know if they have any material to grab from her. I mean, I don't blame Drew. So what's she gonna say? I mean, there's nothing else to really say. Like, I mean, she can come for the kids, but then she come for the kids, and it's like you came for the kids. It's just like, wow. That's my.
I feel like Monyetta intentionally left out that she was recording to Kenya, to frame Marlo to seem worse than what it really was, in my opinion. Because I really do feel like if Kandi wasn't there, Monyetta would have sent that videotape to Kandi talking about, or been showing her like they were showing the DM off with Martell, laughing and kikiing, being like, "Girl, look at her lying. She said she didn't do this. Remember that?" She would. I feel like she really would because Kandi's her girl. As far as Drew and Marlo's back and forth, I felt like Drew was making some reads, but they just didn't land the way that they should have landed. And Marlo was low-key kind of just like eating them up, peeing at dust because Drew was deflecting and Marlo was kind of pointing out that she's deflecting. So surprisingly to me, Marlo won that argument. Even though Drew was reading her, they just didn't land. And Marlo was kind of like, stick to the point. Like, you're lying. Why do you have to lie? What are you lying for? Why are you lying? Drew went all around Marlo's past, bringing up her record, and Marlo's talking about what's happening in present day. So that's why I feel like Marlo won.
I have to give, credit to Marlo in this moment because, I mean, we know Drew is lying, seeing this, but it's just like you said, she's like, why are you lying? Like, why are you lying? And, she kept saying,
it's
like,
giving liar.
She kept saying you have multiple things to worry about. Okay, yeah.
Why are you worried about me? Yeah.
But but you're lying. Why are you lying? So it's like, so I agree. I just,
I didn't like that she threw that thing. I don't know if, maybe Marlo expressed to them that that Courtney was helping her get her record expunged. Because the way she threw it out there was kind of like Courtney told her. And she was just like throwing it out there like Marlo didn't know. But
yeah. Okay.
Not phase.
Well, I'm going to say this next part, to me, I actually went up more for this. And I really want to see this kind of, become more because I think it could actually be really good. So Kenya turns to Courtney and she asks Courtney about what she had to say last night about Drew. And Courtney immediately catches and she's just like, whatever I said, I can own up to, I can be accountable and transparent. And Monyetta speaks again. I wanted to be quiet at this point because actually Monyetta has said a lot. And it's just like, okay. But she calls it a collusion. And I was just like, honestly, I had to look up collusion too, because I was like, huh? I didn't know if she was
colluding is.
I mean, I did, but I'm like, the way she was using, I'm like, it's trying to say they in cahoots, an alliance. Girls, just use another word. Like, stop trying it. Like, stop it. Okay? Because you make my head hurt. And so, the girl, so Kenya turns to Drew and basically tells her everything that Monyetta told her. Now, Kenya was not there. And Court is like, were you there? Were you there? And, I will say this, it always makes you look bad if you speak on something that you weren't there for. It don't matter what it is. If you were not there, you really should just shut up. So I'm sorry, but Kenya, you maybe Monyetta could have probably spoke on it, but I think Kenya should have hushed because it made it seem like Kenya was really, even though she's trying to like not have an issue with Courtney, she's showing that she does not like Courtney, and she's basically giving Courtney more of a moment than she thinks she is. Unfortunately, she is. And so, she's just like, were you there? And then Kenya's like, well, if you just shut up. And she's like, no, what are you going to do about it? And Kenya's like, I'm not going to fight you. And this is interesting because there was once a time where Kenya would say that she would fight you. But in this case, she's not. And so Courtney goes on about it being karma, her ass busting, but nobody really catches it yet. That'll come back up later. Sheree says she's embarrassed and storms off crying. Even though she's kind of the one that kind of got it started from the beginning, to be honest, because she did. And they kind of storm off. So what are y'all thoughts on the scene between Courtney and Kenya and how this is going? Because like I said, although Kenya is saying that this girl's not worth her time and she wants a moment, she's giving her the moment. because she directed it directly at Courtney. Dream.
When Manyata used collusion, I was so irritated. I'm like, girl, where did you learn this word from? And try to stick it in any sentence you could, because this was not giving. Maybe like the whole Giselle, like Chris situation and setting that more so than this. Like, and my thing too is she was sitting right there eating it all up. But
yeah.
I just can't believe she used that word. That really irritated me. But either way.
Her word usage kind of made sense, but it was like, why would you use that? Because that's like,
it was too extreme.
That's more government stuff, like
there's so many other words she could have used.
It was too extreme for that.
I was like, collusion, girl, this is the wrong cast. Like, stop. Say, y'all on that side over there, we on that side over here. Just do that. Okay, because that's more. It's
just the more and more I think about it, like, what did she use? She just was trying to figure out what word to use, and she was.
Right.
Gotta get my piece.
She spoke too fast. She knew what she was trying to say, but she could have used a different word.
Yeah, I agree.
She needs to practice like Drew do. I think that it was a good scene. I'm glad there's somebody who's not scared to back down from Kenya. Because if I was on Real Housewives of Atlanta, I wouldn't be backing down from Kenya.
True. So Kenya's always speaking on something that she wasn't there for. She wasn't there for the Drew saying anything about kissing a girl. She wasn't there for Courtney making her comment about karma. But she's speaking as though she was there. And low-key, Courtney ate her up.
I don't know about ate.
I don't think she ate her up, but I think she definitely, Kenya is a wordsmith, and she can go back and forth, but she can say all day, that girl is not worth her time and stuff like that. But I mean, hey, she was going. They filming y'all at the same table.
Kenya had nothing to say. Kenya said, "No one likes you." Like, she had to resort to that. No one likes you.
Yeah, she started getting on her mean.
And Marlo's like, "I like you, Courtney. I was here for it."
Marlo's funny to me. She's annoying and does annoying stuff, but she is funny. Kenya did walk down the stairs when they were kissing, though. They showed her walking down the stairs getting Brooklyn's bottle or whatever. So she actually.
I meant for that night when they're all recording, when Marlo was recording. She wasn't there.
I don't know, but And Kenya would fight. Kenya would act like she was gonna fight somebody all the time. So it was.
She does. That's what I'm saying. Like, the only time she ever said I'm not gonna fight you was when Nene was throwing that popcorn at her. Any other time, I feel like she's rowdy.
With Kim in the chair pool.
Even with Martell.
That's one moment I will say of all moments of Kenya that I never liked. That was part of the one moment I'd be like, I don't like this. This is not right. But hey, neither here nor there. I see a debate in the chat about whether or not Courtney ate Kenya up or not. This is my square. I don't think she ate her up, but she definitely got her. She didn't put her in the grave and like that, but she got her, in my opinion. You can have yours. That's my opinion. But let me know in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, let me know if you feel like Courtney got Kenya, because she's pretty good at it, but I think she was kind of got. Okay, so outside of this, the groups separate into their divisions, but Drew goes and grabs Courtney. And she confronts her and tells her, that she does not like that she's hanging with them, talking to them. And Courtney's like, why are you mad at me? Like, Manyata filmed too. Like, why is there a double standard? Manyata had her camera out just as well as Marlo did. And so I wanted to ask y'all, was there a difference? I think we kind of talked about it already, but let me know in the chat, or you guys know if you feel like it was a difference. And Drew warns Courtney about Marlo, which I just feel like maybe she could have warned her about Marlo a long time ago. I mean, I don't think it shouldn't have took a recording to have, to see that Marlo is not the greatest person. In general, I think Drew and Courtney should be worried about Marlo, both of them actually, because Marlo really seems to only be I don't know to who really. What we see and what she is different. That's just me. But what I will give kudos to is Sonja, because Sonja said, and she told Marlo that she was wrong for filming it. And this is why I think Sonja is going to be around a lot longer, just because although she has chosen a side, she still likes to play the fence. Like, she sometimes can tell a friend that they right or wrong, and she picks and chooses, but it works in her favor. And I think for me, she gets a few points. Any thoughts on any of this between Drew and Courtney, and Sonya telling Marlo she was wrong? Any thoughts here?
Not really. I don't think Courtney is Ralph's cousin, but that's it.
You don't think so? You think they may be like cousins, like second?
And Drew needs to let that cousin stuff go.
Yeah,
they're not cousins.
Well, this is just some other more exclusive tea, but I heard that obviously we know that Drew and Courtney are not on good terms right now. But I heard that there was almost a physical altercation at the reunion between Courtney and Drew's sister. But
Drew's sister.
They don't believe me, so that's just what I heard allegedly.
I heard that early. Maybe that's why.
May have an issue. Them have a backstage issue that had to be broken up by.
Dang, not Drew's sister.
Drew's sister. I'm just saying. She maybe to do mile around this thing. I don't know.
Ooh, that'd be good. That'd be a nice little look.
We'll see. But that's all alleged. You don't have to believe me. We'll see the reunion in a few weeks. Okay, so really quickly, the next day, there's two separate conversations going on. Kenya is talking about what happened with Courtney and how about her hanging with other girls. And Drew talks about saying that she pulled Courtney to the side and to tell her that watch Marlo and things like that. And then Sonya was in the other conversation with her girls talking about she didn't like that Monyetta used the word collusion, and says that there is no alliance. That is a damn lie. There is not an alliance, but the group is divided. They can whatever. Yeah, either here or there. Okay. So then they go to dinner, and at dinner they start the conversation by talking about traveling. And Drew's anniversary comes up. They have the big 8s, and the last time I heard the number 8 was when old girl told her, only difference between yours and me and yours is just yours is going and mine is coming for 8. And that was season 7. Shout out to Demetria, no shade, for her rehearsed read. But she talks about counseling and that only she's in counseling and not Drew. That he took a break. I'm like, girl, neither one of y'all need to take a break. They have been counseling, mind you, since their first episode on this show 3 years ago. Keep that in mind. And so they get drinks, and it looks like Kenya, I don't know if she tried to take Sonya's drink or was it an accident. Y'all think she tried to steal her drink? Because she didn't like her drink. You think she tried to steal her drink?
It reminded me why I didn't like Kenya so much. Like that moment right there reminded me. It ain't no bias or nothing. It's her actions. I don't like stuff like that. Notice I didn't say the S word. I don't like stuff like that. I just think it's nasty. It's nasty work, and it's slight. And it's like, you trying to make me seem like I'm crazy because I know I ordered this drink, but it's sitting in front of you. Like, what's going on? So I don't like them little reindeer games.
Was it Marlo? Marlo saying like, oh, I think I ordered another one. Was it Marlo saying that?
Everybody was trying to like, girl, don't take her drink. Kenya knew what she was doing.
Kenya didn't like her drink, which she said. I think she was just like, I don't like this, so I'm gonna take this one.
Oh yeah, it tastes like coffee.
But yeah, I don't know.
Why are you ordering an espresso martini and you're not a big girl? That's a big girl drink.
Okay. I don't know about that espresso thing, but that's
a big girl drink.
That's nasty.
It's a dessert drink. You order that at the end of the day.
But then after Sonya comes back and takes her drink back, she's like, give me my damn drink, bitch. And Kenya asks about Kandi, if anybody spoke to her or talked to her. And Monyetta says that Monyetta reveals that she had talked to Kandi, and it was revealed to Kandi that Toya says that Marlo sent the video because she was trying to show her that Drew was not a good person. I guess they had been having some conversation, and she was just like, nah, you saying Drew good? No, she ain't. Look at this. She talking about you right now. And so, Marlo kind of admits to it, and she's just like, yeah, I did. But then Sonya turns to Monyetta, and she talks about she says that she definitely did not agree with Marlo sending it, but she feels like Monyetta did the same thing by going back and playing phone tag, by going back to the girls and telling them everything. Do y'all feel like it was the same thing? Was Sonya reaching or no?
It's the exact same thing, like whether it's video or not. That's what I'm saying for Kandi. Kandi called people to ask them about the situation. It's the exact same thing. Kandi's like, I know I'm not lying. She's calling me a liar. Didn't you see X, Y, and Z?
Mm-hmm.
So all Marlo did was skip the he say, she say, and sent the video. People do that. Don't lie, Drew.
I don't know if I can say it's the same thing, but once again, I don't think anything's off limits at this point aside from kids, because husbands and spouses clearly not off limits. So it's just like it's not the same, but it's similar, like apples, oranges. It's fruit.
Shooting incident.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if we ever go out, we all go out. We at Lean Con, the Bravo Con.
Oh wait, don't record me.
Huh?
If we all hang out, don't record me.
If a extra Tito's and pineapple comes out, it's mine. It's not y'all's. That means I ordered 2. Okay, so don't grab it.
You know what? Fine.
And if we all go out, don't record anything I say.
I'm
gonna be like Rob.
If you try to take my drink, I do get butthurt over drinks. I work in the alcohol industry, and I took time to order my drink, play with my drink. You playing with me? Don't tap dance in my face.
Yeah, and don't play with it.
Don't play with it. I'm gonna put it on the floor. I'm sweet. I'm promised. I'm playing.
No, let's see this come around. I'm looking at the comments. He said, Jasmine said exactly. Look at Jasmine. Jasmine said, like, yes, Asia. She in the house said yes. Oh, not put it on the floor, Jasmine. Asia, Lord have mercy. Okay. So Courtney comes in and Courtney says that, listen, we were just trying to find out the truth. We weren't having it wasn't a bad conversation. It wasn't malicious. And her and Mayetta kind of have a back and forth. You know, she's like, absolutely. She's like, absolutely anytime. And then Mayetta's like, great. She's like, yeah. It's like, thank you. I'm like, ooh, this would have been a beef. I think maybe they could have beef. It would probably, we want fresh beefs. You know, Courtney and Kenya could be cute, but I think Mayetta and Courtney could probably have a better beef.
It would be nice and nasty.
Yeah, it was very nice and nasty. I kind of live for it. I'm like, oh, please keep going. Come on, give me some, give me a little more. But they stopped it like the little weakless that they are. And then Marlo turns around and said, listen, I want the truth. And Drew says, listen, you need to worry about your legal affairs, your taxes. And Marlo says, girl, you can Google all this. My taxes are fine, just like your husband, who's a technician or technology, or whatever she said. Any thoughts here on this scene at dinner between, you know, the nice and nasty Mayetta and Courtney, Sonya to Mayetta, because they was all coming at Mayetta got a little heat at this table. She probably could have got a little more, in my opinion. But any thoughts?
Go ahead, Drew.
I feel like Drew is just mad she got caught in a lie. She's deflecting, honestly. She just needs to let it go. I feel like Marlo, I don't think that Marlo really said anything bad per se about Ralph. Because I think she said, did Drew say, how did you get your money? How do you get your money? And Marlo said something like, the same way Ralph does in the technology.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think that that's necessarily anything bad. So I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah. Now, I do agree. Like I said, Sean, it says, you know, Marlo doesn't worry about her own business, but in this moment, she don't have none. So it's just like, why worry about the archive or La Wig or whatever business when I can be talking about it? I'm just saying, whatever that business called. What was it called? The wig business that she had.
Oh, I don't even remember. All I can remember is Kenya Moore hair care, and that was Kenya's whole point.
That was now, you know, that was an iconic moment. That was very iconic. Now, especially for the later seasons, we ain't got too many to talk about. We can always talk about that.
I don't think Marlo said anything bad about Ralph's business, but I feel like I will be more like offended. Like, my husband actually works. You rent clothes out. Like, that's not. I know it's technically e-commerce, so that's technically tech, and I think that's where Marlo was trying to get at. But if that's the case, Sheree work in tech too, because she got a website.
Yeah, we in tech too. Anybody that can we all in tech. I really am in tech in real life, but yeah, this, if you can do this up here, this is
me
tech.
too.
Right, come on, come on.
I don't, but I'm in tech too.
You are tech savvy, so you work in tech too.
I'm in the lean tech. Okay.
Yes, lean tech. I'm weak. So apparently in the after show, Drew didn't know what Ralph did. I didn't watch it, but you watched it, right, Asia? Is that right?
I watched it too.
Yeah.
Watched it too, Dream? Okay.
They asked her, "What does he do?" And she literally was a deer in headlights. She said,
Well,
he's
she said that already once the previous season. She didn't know what he did, or she said that like last season. So I mean, I don't know. Drew.
Tanya explained it better than Drew did.
I'm about to say, tell them who actually explained it though, because now we know what he does. He's a consultant, either for his own business, like or for a Fortune 500 company. So he either consults on his own to Fortune 500 companies to tell them what technology to use to keep them updated.
Okay.
But Kenya, the one told us, not Drew.
Mm-hmm.
She was she said she was insinuating. That's true. Now I will say that if I'm correct, I do think when Marlo made the comment about him working in technology, I think she was kind of really throwing a little shade at like, well, what, like as if like, does he really work? Like, because allegedly he works in technology. We don't know what he does, right? I thought he was a PE coach or something. It's not true.
No, he's a musician, a producer.
I don't even know. What does Drew do?
They got a song.
What does who do? Drew or Ralph?
They got a song.
Yeah, I thought he was a consultant.
T-Boz.
He said that like in the first season that Drew was on.
Yeah.
He just don't pay attention to him or maybe he don't be making money from it. I don't know.
This is you gotta think Drew don't be paying attention to much that he do, because she didn't even know he was about to he moved the whole house by himself. Like she just show up.
Yeah. I still think he's a PE coach, but I mean, who am I? This is my little square. I ain't know about him.
I don't know if I ever heard the PE coach thing, but that's your square.
Allegedly, this is what I heard. no, I did not hear that.
Oh, well, he is an author, right?
Huh?
Oh yeah, he an author.
Oh, Taylor said yes. Yes, he is an author.
Correct. A dad. Okay, Antonio, with the facts.
Okay, let's keep all the comments on what Ralph is, because we need to let Drew know what her husband, soon to be divorced husband, is. So yeah, music producer. Okay, PE coach. Sticking with that one. Okay, so Sheree is like, listen, stop the insults. You know what's going on, and Mayetta, speaks up again, and she says, Marlo, you've been doing good with your therapy. Like, stay doing good. Stay doing good. And Marlo was like, I'm going to stop because karma is a bitch. And, they like, well, speaking of karma, what does that mean? Like, what collusion mean, but you don't know what karma mean? Now, hold on. I just don't understand that. But they bring up the comment that Courtney made. And, Kenya says, like, listen, if someone wants to make fun of me, I could not walk today. I got up on the first Sunday and rose up. If y'all want to make fun of that, then hey, you are a bad person, blah, blah, blah. So they showed all of Kenya's moments from this season where I guess she was, where I guess karma could have took place. But I think they should have went a little further back, because I don't think anything from this season really gave like karma, specifically that chair move. I'm gonna stop talking about it. But yeah, that would have probably been good to bring up as karma, but it had nothing to do with this season. So I get why, right? And so Courtney basically owns what she says. And she basically says that, she said, well, at least she said, I at least hope that you was okay. And Kenya was like, no, you didn't. And Drew was like, she actually did. I'm like, at least Drew is speaking up in all type of ways for whoever, even, with her being at odds with her cousin. And she tells her, keep falling and busting your ass. She tells her, any thoughts on this moment between Courtney and Kenya, the whole karma talk, and just how it came back up later? Dream.
Listen, don't cancel me, but I really do believe in karma, and I believe in signs. And even though like sometimes bad things happen, I don't think that people necessarily wish bad things to happen for karma like that, but sometimes things happen to make you sit down. To me, sometimes things happen to make you slow down.
Are you throwing shade at her falling her booty?
No, but this is the thing though. Like, although she did fall, and she could have really hurt herself. Apparently, they established her with trauma, but I don't feel like that excuses bad things happen. Sometimes you need to like chill out. Maybe I need
yeah.
I don't know. That's just how I feel. Sometimes you need to slow down, watch what you say. Bad things be happening. Karma's real.
I just feel like, really quickly, if you watch Real Housewives of Miami, remember when Adriana was trying to relate her incident to what's her name? To Alexia's
Alexia's son. I remember that.
I'm sorry, like Kenya failed. She hurt herself. She got up. She's fine. I just feel like, baby, we fall. People fall all the time. I fell earlier, hitting my toe on the bed, and here I am filming. So it's just like, stop it. I get it. She probably could have hurt herself because she is, you know, a little bit older and she has a big wagon on her, but she's fine. So I don't think we're talking about how she couldn't have, and you can't talk about what didn't happen. You walking. Just saying.
I don't think that was karma. I don't not like Courtney for saying it. Like, I don't know what she 100% meant by it. We think she meant something mean by it, but who knows? I don't know her heart. However, I don't think that was karma for Kenya. It was just Kenya walking, rushing, and failed. Like, that's just clumsy. That's it. It didn't seem like a big old
in freaking
house shoes. She had house shoes.
Hotel slippers. They had a cheapest. And it was raining. No, that's not karma. That's just careless. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Karma works in weird ways, guys. Don't look at me like y'all listen to Courtney, but
karma could be a real thing or whatever, but a slip and fall ain't it. That ain't karma.
Yeah.
You don't think so? It'd be little things.
I do believe in karma, and I will say I will be lying if something, like when something happened to me, I'd be like, man, why? This is probably because I did this.
Right? I'd be like, what'd I do?
Right. But in this case, I don't think it was karma. But Courtney was just, you know, she was.
I don't think it was karma for Courtney. Like, I don't think, if that makes sense, I don't think it was karma that Kenya had for Courtney. But I do feel like maybe something happened.
Maybe if one of them implants back there busted when she fell, then that would have been karma. But just a fall, no.
What? That would have been even worse.
But I'm saying that's like a karma thing. Like, you did a bad thing. That's a real bad thing.
Yeah, I exactly. Green girl, this is bad things happen to people all the time. Is it always karma? No, it's not. No. It's not. But I mean, it can be, depending on how you look at it. It's your
karma for wearing them shoes out there.
Yes, not is it colorism. What? Yeah, they say.
Okay, colorism now.
Not the colorism. That is the wrong show. That's on Potomac. We'll talk about that in three months. Trust me, we will hear about colorism in 3 months when Potomac airs. Sure. So let's not get there. Yeah. So the last scene, they go to the winery, and Marlo gets a text message from Ralph saying to keep my name out your mouth. And I ain't gonna lie, I like the way that Marlo delivered this, because she was just like, you know, your husband. I'm a woman. He's a man. I'm telling you what he said. I'm like, you better give us little victim, little Karen Lowe. She was like, she did. It was so true. I'm like, girl, stop. The way she delivered it, it worked in this moment, in my opinion. And you know, she just feels like she didn't say anything disrespectful. So why would you come at her like that? The real question is, damn, Drew, you couldn't wait to tell him why you ran to him that fast. I mean, what do y'all think Drew really said that she said? Because I mean, she did throw her little shade with the technology, but you would think that she was just like, your husband out here doing all. No, I mean, I don't know. It kind of added more to her deflection, in my opinion, because the real issue here is Drew kissed a girl and she liked it, and she don't want to own up to it. That's what it is. But you know, Kenya stops them from arguing. I'm like, thank God, because y'all can't keep arguing. All these places they're going to are so serene and peaceful, and they keep arguing and getting loud. So I know, like, we're filming, but it got to be crazy when you actually travel like that and you go to these places. Like, you don't want that. Like, they don't even allow that kind of stuff in there. So I'm glad that somebody kind of stops them before it gets crazy. And then they see pilgrims, per Drew. Any thoughts on this last part with Marlo, Kenya stopping them, and the pilgrims that Drew saw?
I'm trying to figure out what high school Drew went to that she ain't learned about pilgrims.
She didn't learn about pilgrims. She didn't learn that Africa, South African Africa is Africa.
Like, where did she go to high school? Chicago Public Schools. Come on now. Come on now. That's not okay. So she needs to enroll in some classes, because this is not.
You need to get out of counseling and get into a damn university, okay? Get out of counseling. Go to the nearest damn what's it called?
Community college.
Community college is something. Get something, because baby, it ain't working.
Everything in the scene is whatever, but Pilgrims, like that, it just gave me Underground Railroad vibes and Where's the Train? Like I literally, it was just, I can't, this is the second time she just said something very aloof.
I'm sick of it.
It's the dumb just not cute on her. It's not. She not Portia.
That's the case. When you say that, I see comments and it's so crazy. I thought about this. Do y'all think she's trying to be like a Portia? Like, you know, Portia.
I think maybe so. I don't know. Maybe she just I don't know. I don't know. Even okay, so even when it came to what she said to Ralph, it's a reach. Like I think she went and said Marlo is over here saying you ain't got no job and you a scammer, and like I think she like said that and blowing. She just said we all got websites.
Yeah. Okay. Drink.
Yeah, I feel like Drew probably put 20 on 10 to Ralph because Marlo didn't really say anything bad enough for Ralph, in my opinion, for Ralph to message her. I can understand if she was going in on him, but enough for him to message her. But she didn't say anything to me. And I don't know if I really liked that he messaged her without knowing what she said or like the direct truth. Because he kind of low-key just like told her off, but he don't know what she said. So.
Well, you know, and I see people saying, well, Antonio says Marlo, you know, he put an emphasis on W. Marlo probably did say that. You know, I don't think that she did because, you know, I think she would have said or owned up to what she said, you know. I forgot when she mentioned that Ralph, because then who she get into it with last year? Was it Ralph? Did she confront Ralph last year?
I think it was Ralph, and were they in like Jamaica? No,
that was Ralph and Kenya. But unless it was
Ralph and Todd, right?
He said this is the second time that you have that. It's something like that. He said
the
like
first time was with the big one, the son, when she was questioning like, why aren't you going to adopt him?
Yes. Okay, so even then, was she being disrespectful? Then no, that became between her and Todd. I don't know.
First it was her and Todd, and then it was her and Ralph.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, but he was listening to his wife. He was doing the right thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have said
that. He should have texted her. Do y'all think he had a right to text her? How does he have a number? I don't know.
But I feel like Drew should have.
Okay.
Drew should have said something to Marlo.
I agree.
He talks to Sanya too. So he talks to Marlo and Sanya at this point. He got both their numbers. Is all I'm saying.
Okay, so they saying Marlo said more, but it was edited out. Okay. Well, to my eyes, I didn't, we didn't see. I don't work in the cutting room, so I don't know. But it didn't look like she said thing. But hey, she probably could have. I'm not sure.
I don't want nobody texting me.
I don't think he should have been texting her. I thought that was kind of like ill,
Drew can't handle anything on her own. She has to run and have someone else handle it for her. So she ran to Ralph so Ralph can handle the situation instead of her handling the situation for him. Like, that's your husband. She said it to you. You deal with that. Why are you running around like this? I don't know. I just feel like, why are you going to run to this man? And I understand if you vent to your husband and tell him like what's tea and what's been going on. I get that. But Ralph shouldn't take it upon himself to try to tell this girl something. Like, let your wife handle it. She's just telling you the tea.
Yeah. He looked dumb. And Sammy said he apologized to her.
Well, I'll tell you this. She ain't going to, well, they about to probably get divorced sooner, but Drew, girl, if you want to make it longer, girl, you got to be able to fight your own battles. And you're not doing a good job. If you got to, I mean, there's nothing wrong with running to your man and telling, but he should have not been texting her that. I mean, we did see, Juan, he didn't text Karen, did he? No, he didn't say. He said he was gonna cuss her out, but he shouldn't have did it. Period. That wasn't his fight. Yes, she mentioned him. They mention men all the time. The men don't be texting the women out of line, in my opinion. Sorry, Ralph. You just as guilty out here. So, okay. Well, next week we get an episode with it's gonna be pretty interesting. Before we get to that, make sure you guys like this video. I'm gonna go ahead and we got some callers in the queue. If it's your first time watching, we do our recap for about 45 minutes, 50 minutes, and then we let some callers on to give your opinion. So if you've never called in before, this is a great opportunity to do so. Give your thoughts. Maybe you didn't like something we said. You can come in here and give your rebuttal, but be respectful. And our first call is going to be Sean. Oh, Lord.
Hello.
What's going on?
I wanted to say that Marlo was giving digs about Ralph. Remember when the first lady of Sheree's friend did the background check? She was saying stuff off that background check to Drew about his taxes, his name, and it was something what he do for a living. She was throwing digs at him. That's why she called Ralph, and Ralph knew exactly what they was talking about. But far as the videos, the producer did tell them to videotape, but at a point in their conversation, they told everybody to stop videotaping. So, because they thought they was having a private moment, and Marlo kept videotaping. And then what the information that Manetta had, they didn't know at that point before they told everybody to stop videotaping. She got them trying to hem up Courtney to make them, you on my side, you on our side, we got your back, you need to have our back. That was the collusion part that they was talking about. And Kenya must have seen the video, so that's why she was talking. So Courtney tried to overtalk her to stop her from saying what was told. That's why Courtney got all loud, and it wasn't no reads. It was just stupidness, just falling on her butt. Okay, and that's not eating nobody up. That wasn't no read or anything. And I think, and that's why Kandi was like, we thought we was having a private moment, because she said she would never bring that stuff up, and she never did for 2 years about the extra stuff that happened at the bachelor party. And that's all I got.
Okay. Listen. Well, hold on, let me mute you for a second. I have to mute you so I hear myself. But basically, so that all makes sense completely. But I mean, from just watching what we saw, that's how I was analyzing. But that's some great insight. Yeah, anything else?
I think Courtney was hilarious this episode.
Okay. Sean, I'm gonna drop you off because you're bringing echo into the feed, but we heard you, okay, and we'll see you next time, okay. Thank you for calling in, Sean. All right, our next caller is going to be Asia's back. Asia, you there? Okay.
Yes.
The next caller is going to be Tawana. Hey, Tawana, how are you?
Tawana.
Hi, how are you guys?
Gucci, how are you?
It's a lovely Monday.
I'm good. So this episode, I would say it was decent. I'll say it's about a 7. Sheree was kind of annoying this episode. I feel like she was playing both roles. It's like you can't be the bone collector and the pot stirrer. It's like she kept saying that she wanted peace, but then when she was talking to Drew about the situation with Kandi, she was like, and these your friends, and these your friends. So it's like you stir in the pot, and then when the pot spill over, you're trying to be a peacemaker. It's like you either the bone collector or you the pot stirrer, but you can't do both jobs because you're not that smart. And then with the situation with Kenya and Courtney, I don't think Courtney ate Kenya up at all. I think Courtney just really showed that she's a fan of the show because she has such strong opinions of Kenya, and she hasn't even been around to have these opinions about her. So that just showed us that you've been watching the show, and you knew that when you came on, your agenda was going to be to attack Kenya and Kandi, because she came on the scene with strong opinions about Kandi, and then all of a sudden now she got strong opinions about Kenya, and she hasn't even been around that long. So she just proved herself to be a friend of the show. Drew's a liar, but
quick question: you don't think that Courtney has been around her enough to maybe assess some kind of current opinion on Kenya?
Like the scene with Martell?
Yes, but I feel like you can't make an opinion about somebody just off of being around them. And then in the situation of her and Martell, Kenya was really defending herself. So you can't let somebody doing one thing create a whole opinion about them.
What
Like for
about when
Courtney,
she
right?
dragged them to Alabama and didn't tell them what they was doing?
Say that one more time.
What about when she dragged them to Alabama and didn't tell them what they was doing and just had them in the dark and then left them in the hotel lobby?
Well, she said that she was going to her room. It's not like she just got up and walked out. She said, "Okay, I'll see y'all later. I'm going to my room." I can
think
see if
that's
she got up
the
and left and
somebody
never
off.
came back and said nothing.
Okay.
And then, and two more points.
Okay.
Drew is a liar, but I want Drew to come back next season because I feel like what happened with Portia is going to happen with Drew. When Portia got away from Cordell and we were able to see her real personality away from a controlling man, that's when Portia took off and blossomed. And I think that will happen with Drew. I think she's going to be more free with her sexuality. Same thing with Portia. When Portia first season, remember, she didn't want to go to a strip club. She was a little housewife. But as soon as she divorced Cordell, she was princess of Thotlantia, walking around with thongs on. So I feel like the same thing might happen with Drew. So I'm interested in seeing Drew's growth away from Ralph. And I like Mayetta, but I think Mayetta is she's a little annoying. I think she doesn't need to be at every trip. And when she started rapping, I said no. It was giving me Monique when she was rapping on Potomac. I said no. And I'd rather see Shamari not Shamari. What's her name?
Shamia.
As a friend. I like Shamia. And I like her family, her husband, her 2 kids. I think it would be interesting to see her again. And she has history with the other girl. So it would be natural for her to be a friend. But that's all.
Okay. Well, thank you, Tawana. Thank you for calling.
Bye.
All right. Our last caller for today is going to be. Is this my Nisha? Or did I just met Nisha?
Yes.
Hey, Nisha. Shout out to Nisha.
Hey.
I actually, last weekend, she met me at the Top Golf and we had like a little chat. How you doing? What you got for us?
I'm good. I want my Yetta gone.
Mhm.
Like, she talks a lot, but it's like nothing happening. Like, she in a lot of scenes, but not there. And it's a lot of nonsense with her. Like, and she is just like, Kandi is her puppeteer. And it's clear as day. So how can you form any kind of, relationships and fallouts, with other people if you got a strict allegiance to Kandi? If that won't work. You know what I'm saying? Yo, time on the show is for you to befriend somebody, fall out with them, have all the, arguments, and you ain't my friend, and all this. I thought we was close, and all that shit. So she'll never get to that because she under Kandi's ass. And Courtney, I don't really care for her, but I like that she'll go back and forth with Kenya way other than Sonya did. Because I don't like nobody to just get ate up and let somebody dog them out. So that's what I did like, that she was willing to, keep going. Even if it was gibberish coming out of her mouth, it was fine with me. Okay. And I think production is like getting Kandi out of here. Especially with me seeing her sitting on the end too.
I don't think I think she's getting herself out of here at this rate. I think it's mutual at this point. I would be surprised if she comes back.
Kandi don't want to get rid of no check. She don't want to go. I think they sick of her.
She really is busy this season.
That's true.
She been busy since we met her.
She real busy this season. She's. I think it was okay in the past, but now she's busy to where she can't film, and that's like a problem. I think the presence that they show on the show where she's like, they saying like, oh, Kandi is not at this event, she's not in my event. Right. I think production probably has the same sentiments. It's like not only that, but she's not filming. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how.
Now, why are you filming out of the country with set it off braids?
I will say, I think because she had a show, so she has to put her wig on.
Right, that's what I was thinking too, Asia.
Girl, you is worldwide. You can have somebody come and do that when you get to the show.
She wasn't.
I think I'll enjoy Kandi more on like a escape show rather than Housewives.
Yeah, she's better on there. And Sheree,
this is my My little video where child I always put up there. I can't even find the child. Where she
Because she is just, oh my God. I would
Sheree.
She is just a mess. Like, you literally sitting up there the whole time being a pot stirrer, like the previous caller said, but then y'all are embarrassing. I was trying to have peace. Like,
I would say she was not as involved as everyone else, but she had her hand in kind of getting stuff. You know, you can't try to create peace on this trip when you're a part of the problem too. Like, yeah, maybe this episode you're not, but just 2 episodes ago you were, and then all this stuff. Like, it's a lot. This whole trip was bull.
They had them set up to argue somewhere else instead of them public places.
Right. And I don't understand, what is the big deal if Drew did kiss the girl? Like, so what?
Because she's lying about it. I mean, no
so
one
what?
likes.
Y'all shouldn't be asking me about it. I might lie too. Leave me alone. It's none of your business.
Just like me.
Because it's none of your business. I don't want my whole shit on the screen. The shit I do out of town is my business. Like, I don't want it on the screen. Like, that don't make me a liar because I want to admit my business in public.
Yeah. But whenever they lie about something, that's whenever they keep up the conversation longer. They'll drag it out. So it's like, I might as well just admit it.
No, I still wouldn't. Because I want to get them all riled up. I would just sit and laugh at them with a stone face. Like, why are you talking about this? Like, that's what I would have did to them instead of getting all calling Toya and all that old mess. I would have just stone faced them the whole time. Like, what? I did what? What?
You would have gaslight them like she was gaslit.
Hell yeah, I would have gaslit the shit out of them, set them all on fire because I wouldn't have fed into it.
I will say every situation is all about your approach, and I feel like she approached it wrong. You know, she on the defense, and that's just because.
Or she could have admitted it and shut them down.
Or
there wasn't nothing to talk about.
This trip was a flop. They could have stayed in Atlanta.
It was such a flop. I'm ready for the reunion to come on and go, and the reunion looks was awful. The whole picture was a fool.
You don't like none of them?
None of them.
I want to do a quick moment about the looks, real quick, and then but I'm gonna let you go. Okay, thank you for calling. All right.
Okay.
And it was nice
meeting you. Good night.
All right.
Good night.
All right. That was Nisha. She did mention the looks. We'll do a brief little. I mean, obviously you guys have seen it already. And like I said, if you've seen it, it's all because of us. So thank you. But I wanted to just take a look at the looks. Bravo did say that they're going to release the official photos as if this photo was not official. But I'm sorry, but I guess that was them throwing their little shade at us. But we love Bravo. So just quick, of these looks, give me your fave and your least fave. Dream.
My fave and my least fave?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I have 2 top 2s. My 2 faves.
One fave, least fave. You gotta choose one.
Okay, my fave is Drew's. Okay. And my least fave is Kandi's. Oh wait, I lied. My least fave is Sheree's.
Your least fave, okay, Sheree's. Okay. Asia.
My favorite is Kandi's, and my least favorite is Kenya's. Because what are those sleeves doing?
Okay. I would say my fave is Drew's, to be honest. But my least fave, although she looks beautiful, and I'm so happy that she is having a child, I just feel like Sonya's, and maybe it's just this photo, it's just a little flat to me. Just flat. It's beautiful, and she looks great, but it's just very, I know she's pregnant, but I just feel like maybe a little more could have been done. I'm sorry. That's
like it was too safe.
Yeah, but like I said, maybe because she's expecting a baby. So should I take her out of my least fave because she's pregnant? Is that
yes? Because you don't know what size it's gonna be.
Okay, well, fine. Shoot. My least fave is I guess Sheree too. To be honest, she's very boring too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know what it is.
But I still don't care. Sonya looks not. First of all, Sammy, who's been fighting for Kandi these last 5 minutes, bless his soul, said that the Sonya's look like it's fresh off of the rack at Heavenly's Beauty shade. But it looks gorgeous, but it's just too simple. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's just me. Okay, well, listen, Bravo said that they're going to release the official photo. So I guess maybe we'll talk about it officially when they officially release, even though that's the official photo. So on that note, make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We have the Real Housewives of New York live recap tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. We have Bell Collective and Love and Hip Hop Atlanta returning this week. For those that watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, we do it bi-weekly now. But if we need to go back weekly, we can. So look out for that. And if our lovely fave host of the Luncheon League is not out this week, we will have a Luncheon League this Thursday. But check the page always for updates. Thank you, Dream. Thank you, Asia. Thanks to everybody that's been watching the chat. We saw a lot of people, some of our own. Chase, Sammy, Jazz was in the chat. Of course, Art World. Thank you, Sean and Tawana and Nisha for calling in. Antonio Taylor for his shade, talking about this damn lady was rap like Shawty Low. And shout out to everybody watching today. Like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Okay. Good
night, y'all.
What is damn video, y'all? Can't even find it. I'm like, all right.